La la la, just working on my new drawing. Yay, I love drawing. I finished! But it's not exactly how I want it to be. Maybe I should take some tips from that 1D the dot video. Whoa! I improved a lot. Hey there, it's D the dot, and today I'm going to show you how I improved my art, because it was a little boring for a while, but then I learned these tips, and now I'm a lot better at drawing, and it's a lot more fun. This one might seem obvious to those of you who are a little more experienced at art, but sketch the form of your drawing. Start by using more basic shapes like circles, triangles, squares, and trapezoids. My art was all freehanded for a long time before I started watching how to draw tutorials and learned how to do the circle method of sketching animals. I didn't immediately understand why it's important, but over time I realized how helpful it is and started to use it to draw humans as well. My first attempts at drawing humans were embarrassing, to say the least, but by sketching the basic shapes of your character, you can figure out way more about posing and anatomy than you will figure out just by freehanding. Don't sketch the head first, but I'm saying this as someone who usually sketches the head first. Seriously, if you watch most of my speed paints, I always start with the head. I find it way easier to go from top to bottom while drawing. But the problem with this is that if you sketch the head first, you will almost always draw it bigger than it needs to be. The body of your character should be 7 to 8 heads tall if you're going for an anatomically correct art style, but as a more cartoony artist, mine usually ends up being 5 to 6 heads tall. Basically, your body should be multiple heads tall if you're going for more of a realistic style. It's very obvious when someone sketches the head first and doesn't fix the proportions, because it'll basically just mean your character gets smaller the further you go down, which is not how human bodies work. So, in conclusion, it is fine to sketch the head first, just make sure you adjust the body accordingly so you don't end up with a weird trapezoid effect. Use good materials and programs, which brings me to this video's sponsor. Parblo is a company that develops drawing tablets and other drawing materials. They oh so kindly sent me one of their awesome tablets for me to try. They'll also be sponsoring this segment. I got this gorgeous blue minty teal color and it is beautiful. The texture of the screen is really nice and comfortable to draw on. It came with a lot of instructions, an adorable sticker sheet, a little wipe to clean the screen, the beautiful pen, which is really comfortable to hold and also super cool looking in my opinion. It also has 8,192 levels of pressure sensitivity, so that's super helpful for line art. Also got this glove, and I love this little guy so much. You'll also receive this really nice pen holder thing, and I think this is very helpful for not losing it. And more instructions. It's also compatible with both mobile devices, Android only, and also a cord to connect it to your computer, of course. And it also comes with extra pen tips so that when your one wears out, you just have more. So, like anybody would, I drew Gino from K-pop Demon Hunters. This was really fun to use, and this is my first time using a tablet like this, and yet it was very easy to learn, and I highly recommend it for beginners, because I myself am a beginner, and I was still able to create an art piece that I was very proud of. The link to the Parblo Intangbo X7 is in the description. Thank you so much to Parblo for sponsoring this video. A problem I commonly see in beginner art, and also a mistake I used to make on the regular, is that beginner artists forget to think about the way limbs bend and where they connect to the body. Arms aren't bendy noodles, they are made up of two rectangles, pretty much, that bend in pretty rigid movements. It's better for your arms to look stiff and sharp rather than noodle arms. A lot of people also forget about the existence of shoulders when drawing. The shoulders can basically just work as a thin rectangle above the joint of the first arm rectangle, and the shoulders connect to the neck. So stop thinking of arms as one line and start thinking of them as two. This is an art piece I made a long time ago, and the arms don't make sense at all. What is this, and why is there a divot here? It doesn't make sense. This is what it should actually look like. See how the arms bend down and then up, and at the top they connect to the shoulder joint. There's only one bend in the arm. Use hue shifting, and if you're unfamiliar with this term, I don't blame you, it's kind of fancy. This is something I learned very early on, and I think it helped boost my beginner art a lot. Hue shifting is used in shading and rendering. You take the base color, darken it down to use for the shadows, or lighten it up to use for the highlight, and then you additionally shift the actual color. If you don't shift the color, you end up with muddy shading that just makes it look really gross and desaturated and beginner-like. If you do shift the color, you get more cohesive and realistic colors. Both can look good, but hue shifting is typically better. To show you a better example on an actual drawing, here's this Katsure Miyaku drawing I recently did. Of course, I did utilize hue shifting in this drawing, but what would it look like if I didn't? Obviously, it still looks pretty cute, but holy cow, those colors are just so much duller and uglier. Hue shifting is basically the same as that one art tip that goes, don't just use black for shading and white for lighting. Instead, opt for dark purple, dark blue, dark red, dark green, etc. And for lighting, use light yellow, light pink, light blue, etc. I'll leave a random in-depth tutorial on hue shifting in the description because I don't think I can really fully explain its magic. So I'm going to show you some of my older drawings in a second here to show you what I mean by this, but basically, for a temporary period of time, force yourself to draw in a different art style from your own, even if it's wildly different from your usual. Let me explain. So we're starting off with this really ugly, like, diamond eye style where I would draw, well, diamond-shaped eyes and 10 billion eyelashes for some reason. And this lasted way longer than I wanted it to. I was very surprised when I just kept scrolling and I just kept finding more of these. Next up came this like bubbly cartoony style. I don't hate this one as much, but unfortunately it lasted through all of last year's art fight. And then just like a couple weeks ago or a week ago, I was like, you know, I really want some of those like chibi anime style thingies, but I want it to be stickers of my favorite characters. So I was like, okay, I can draw that. And I did, and I really like this. And this is like, I really love the way I drew eyes on this. So if you look at my newer drawings, this is Bree Draw's character, I decided to keep this eye style. Okay, I know most of that seemed really negative, but I've actually like kept things from all of these phases into my normal art style. So basically, if you take these art style side quests, you can find things to implement into your normal style. Number 7, draw new things. Don't just draw the same dragon or OC over and over again. I know it's fun too, but if you draw other things and expand your horizons, you will improve. Number 8, use different materials, mediums, and brushes if you're a digital artist. I used to only draw with like hard, flat, ugly line art and flat shading and flat colors, but then I discovered painting styles and I really love them now. Number 9, experiment with different poses and perspectives. I am not great with perspectives yet, I'm still working on it, but poses I've gotten a lot better with the past few years, and you can too, by just literally trying. And number 10, set aside some time to learn how to draw hands. I know you don't want to, I don't want to either. But I've gotten a little bit better recently, and it's definitely making my art a lot more fun. Speed, 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 bam! If you were wondering who this character is, I guess you'll just have to wait and see. Okay, bye.